Visiting our London studio now to discuss the evolution of mobile money is Philip Belamant from Net1 Mobile Solutions. Philip, good to have you with us today. Maybe if you can first touch on the recent acquisition that you announced this morning, Zazu. What kind of potential are you hoping to unlock in this new venture?
I can hear.
We thank you very much for having me, firstly. We're really excited about Zazu, which is our new UK business. And basically what we've done is that all of the excitement we've generated out of Net1 Mobile Solutions in the last year and a half, we're now wrapping into our global business, which is called Zazu. And the idea will be that we're going to coordinate all of our global efforts to roll out our mobile-centric technologies out of this business. So we're really excited to see what moves we can make in the European market, as well as obviously India, South Africa, of course. Africa we continue to be present in, and then the likes of Korea.
Why Europe? Many people think that it's a developed economy, it's made up of developed economies. Why try to brainstorm, or rather trailblaze, this new evolution over there?
Well, obviously we're initially a South African born and bred business, so our hearts lie in Africa and South Africa. But we also, from a group point of view, we're a NASDAQ and JSE listed company. So the opportunity for us to grow could have been in either the American market or the African or South African markets. But we've chosen specifically to make sure that we focus on the UK and London, out of which to headquarter this new Zazu company of ours, because it is for us the center of the world from a communications point of view, time zone point of view. It gives us a nice base through which we can coordinate our global efforts. And then on top of that, obviously we really like what's happening in the UK at the moment, and the big drive from a political standpoint, when it comes to technology companies and the support that they're getting from the government. So we feel that the UK and London specifically is a great place for us to be, to coordinate this big drive moving forward.
Isn't competition expected to be more tough on that side of the world, Philip?
Well, I'm not sure I would definitely say that. I mean, I think maybe we discount ourselves sometimes in the developing world. We have some of the best technology the world has, the world has seen, and that when I say we, I'm talking about a lot of the companies out of developing markets. So will the competition be more tough? I would say probably not. They say that when you've got a lot of problems to overcome, you obviously become very resourceful in some of the solutions you deploy. And I think that definitely working in Africa and South Africa has seen us develop solutions that we may not have developed should we have always been sitting in a developed market. So we're actually very excited to see what challenges come our way, but by no means do we think it will be easy. We are looking forward to the challenge.
What about the protection of intellectual property as well as the regulatory environment?
I think we're seeing a lot of similar stuff from a regulation perspective worldwide, particularly from a banking standpoint. We know obviously the big firms such as Visa and Master are pushing EMV around the world. And we know that regulation is definitely clamping down, in the mobile banking, if we can call it that space. And that's just if we take the likes of the old GN6 accounts in somewhere like South Africa, the Reserve Bank is clamping down on these, so people can no longer register with a name and an ID. You need to be fully FICA'd or KYC'd. And we know that KYC and FICA is something around the globe. So I think that from a banking standpoint, from a regulation point of view, we're looking to face very similar landscapes where we are looking to conduct business. And with that being said, I think we also are quite familiar with the areas that we're moving into. We already have our office set up in India. We have a company in South Korea. So, and obviously we've been operating in the States for a while, so we're quite familiar with the landscape there from a regulatory perspective.
Let's touch on something closer to home. You've also managed to pioneer quite a lot of technological innovations here in South Africa, which have contributed to the development of some communities here in South Africa. The landscape for Africa as a whole, are we moving in the right direction when it comes to innovative technology, in particular as well when it comes to the mobile money space?
I would say absolutely 100%. You know, the term mobile money is thrown around quite a bit by a lot of people, and I think the whole conversation around that is still slightly confused, just by the very nature that it's very fragmented at the same time in the market at the moment. So in Africa, we see that there's a lot of mobile money offerings being made either by network operators, banks, or third parties. And what's happened is that the entire market now has got kind of a fragmented view as to what mobile money really is. Is it the payment mechanism? Is it where you store the actual money? Or is it just a host account that I can access via my handset? But in short, to answer your question, I would say from an Africa and South Africa standpoint, we're definitely driving development in this space. I mean, if we look at the likes of, obviously, the poster boy of M-Pesa in Kenya, I think that has come and gone. It was great timing. It was a nice platform at the right time. But what we've seen moving forward from that, if you move up to now 2015, is that the problem that we're seeing with mobile money is these platforms can become basically a bartering mechanism that's used to trade your, let's say, your balance. But effectively what ends up happening is that because you cannot agnostically spend that balance, you end up almost having to trade this commodity that you then need to on-sell to realize the currency value of the commodity. And that's something that us as Zazu moving forward are ensuring that we're trying to unlock, whereas when someone receives cash, they want to be able to immediately access that cash and spend it interoperably anyway. And we believe that you need to use some of the traditional banking methodologies combined with mobile solutions to implement that.